Okay, let's talk about the Vital Farms controversy because as a carnivore, obviously this is something that's coming up in my feed left and right. And I just want to say that I'm not mad about it. I'm just awake and I want to explain that. As just an FYI, and we know this, right? When brands sell out to big money, the product almost always changes. And people are shocked right now about Vital Farms and, the controversy about why the yolk is orange and the linoleic acid. But this is something we've seen before. This is no new thing. We've seen it with Rayo's, right? It started as like a single ingredient premium item and then it sold to a major corporation and then, shocker, it changed. And why does this happen? Because they need to make their ingredients cheaper, right? They need to source it differently, and it's mass production over the quality. And it doesn't necessarily make it illegal. It's just that the priorities of the brand shifted, and I think that's a pretty predictable thing that we should just be a little bit more aware of, and not be so shocked when it happens. So like with Vital Farms, when brands reach the point of the where BlackRock and other investors are involved, the conversation has to be about like scalability. So it ends up changing that like premium, kitschy, mom and pop feel of that brand and the reason why they're charging a premium. So I think it's less about us being like right? And more about just being more educated as a consumer. And this is what I always do with my carnivore clients is like, when you go to your doctor's appointment, how do you advocate for yourself a little bit more? And it's all just through knowledge, right? The yolk color never really got me. Everyone was always like, oh my God, these eggs are so amazing because the yolks are orange. Well, that just like comes down to like carotenoids that the chickens are fed. It's not necessarily the fact that they're more nutrient dense, right? So being aware, like we know, right? Organic foods, we know that there's that label, that greenwashing that's slapped on brands. Like that's why we're carnivores in the first place, right? We know that we were shopping all these organic things and our health still wasn't good. So that's why we're carnivore and we're just eating proteins and fats. And we took away all of the grains and corn and flours and sugars and oils and all those things. I'm preaching to the choir, right? But we just have to be smarter about it, and we have to not give in to all of that marketing. And ideally, we're getting our eggs from someone local to us where we know that they're feeding the chicken. They truly are pasture raised. Eggs that have pasture raised on the label just means that they have access to a pasture. It doesn't mean that that's all they're eating, just worms and grass and all of that. And then like the linoleic acid piece, that is like from PUFAs, right? Polyunsaturated fatty acids. And we see that stuff when the chickens are fed corn and soy. And this isn't uncommon with egg brands. Like I can't even, I haven't looked into Pete and Jerry's is one of my favorite. This isn't sponsored. I also just love when it's springtime here and there's not a million inches of snow outside and the chickens are laying here. But best thing, get it from a local farmer. Next best thing, just research and just make sure that the claims that companies are making on their labels are true. And I know it's painful and it takes a lot of time and we're very busy, but I just see people really pissed off about this Vital Farms thing, and I totally get it, but I'm also not shocked. Like my jaw stayed in the same place. Unfortunately, this is just how corporate food works, and I think we all know that.